even though this is free value given, I would like to challenge you to account for your everything.
Yes.
The people behind the cameras, your equipment, your power, your time.
Yeah.
It's fine to say, Justus, I gave Justus $1,000 of value. And if your bio says, every year, I donate $300,000 worth of value to other leaders, to elevate them, to magnify them so their mission is out there. If I read that on your LinkedIn, I really want to connect, okay? And that attracts the right energy.
Wow.
Okay? So, purpose, know what you're good at. Matter of fact, be very good at it. And number 3, be very willing to give. Account for your time. Time is money.
Wow. Well, guys, Justus right there. We're going to take another break. The CEO Bench will be back, but on the CEO Bench is Justus Kojaks, who is the founder and the CEO or the Chief Executive Director of Ultimate Group of Companies in Uganda. We'll be right back after this break. This is the CEO Bench.
Olowo, thank you for watching House of Talent Television. I love to inspire people. I love to talk about my experiences and how God has been able to use me in the different exposures. And through the leadership, through change management and transformation, I've been able to do a couple of things in my life. Now, are you a kind of person who is tired of your status quo? Do you want your situation to change? Are you tired of what is going on in your life? You know, change is a fact of life. We've all been through experiences in the last couple of months that have taken us to a place where we need to do something about our lives. We need to change whatever is going on. So if you have not piled up investment for yourself, you need to do that. If you've not done businesses to hold your family in future, you need to do that. Are you thinking of full-time employment? You need to be thinking about your life after employment or your business in the next couple of years. So if you want us to chat, if you want us to talk about this, please get in touch with us at SEAL Uganda on number 0772443085 or check our website www.sealuganda.com or on all the social media handles. You can hook me up or Facebook, that is Jean-Paul Olowo, on Instagram, Jean-Paul Olowo, and on Twitter and LinkedIn. Then we can chat a way forward with you. We can help you, we can coach you, we can walk with you this journey of financial freedom. Thank you.
Welcome back from that break. This is CEO Bench. My name is Ed Yokela, and in the studio is Justus Kojaks, who is the founder and the Chief Executive Director of the Ultimate Group of Companies in Uganda. Justus, welcome back to the program.
Thank you very much, Ed.
I love the part that you talked about purpose.
Yes.
A lot of us don't have purpose in life.
Yes.
We are doing so many things, we don't know what purpose, for what purpose, for what reason are we doing this. And that is tied to self-leadership.
Yes.
Self-leadership is giving self-meaning, appointing self, and giving self opportunity to do something.
Right.
The second thing you talked about was, be more aware of the value that you're giving out. What is my value?
Yes.
You cannot demand for more pay or more money or more value from others when you're not giving the same value.
No.
And in fact, just as, as a CEO, I want to just take you straight to that moment where we begin to go into change management.
Yes.
A lot of people try to, say you're a CEO, and I know you employ people in an organization. And I meet so many people who want to be paid high, paying checks or receiving high paying checks. But whenever you ask them, so what is your value? What are you giving for the company to give you this much?
Yes.
We have struggled to get people who can tell me or who can tell us that I give this much value, therefore I'm worth this much value. If you go and stand on the street, you find very few people who can tell you what their value is, but
Right.
you speak very passionately about value. I want to touch it a little bit more.
Yeah.
You know, to the person who works for you and demand for more money,
Yeah.
but is not worth the money. How do you
Yes.
deal with that situation?
No, thank you, Eddie. It's a common thing, but I also trust that being the leader I am, or at least continue to learn to be, more than anything, I want my people, you know, anyone that comes, you know, it's a partnership, it's collaborative, like we like to call it, you know, to be a part of the ultimate family. These things eventually come out, you know. There's gotta be coachings that happen every time to time. You gotta be able to account for your time, for what you're asking, okay? And so it's very common, that's for sure. But one of the things that, you know, working or being a part of the ultimate group of companies really directly or indirectly basically shapes you to understand is, you know, quantifying, you know, measurable value, tangible value, okay? And so that is really my approach, okay? But like you said, idea again, back to everyone else listening, you must be able to account, you know, for your value given, you know, put in the time, put in the hours and get the results. And then you can leverage that, okay? Come in and tell me, look, see, we made $50,000 out of this. It's fair to ask for anything, okay? It's very, very fair to ask for anything thereafter, okay?
Wow.
Yeah.
Just as not every one of us is capable of doing that, we're looking at the check that is on the screen right there, and that's you with a group of people. We want to talk about the ultimate cycling, you know, the ultimate group of companies, and you know, a couple of your products and what you're actually offering, and you as a CEO of executive director of, you said, among 8 other people. Would you take us through what is the service that is offered by, you know, the ultimate group of companies?
No, thank you, Eddie, for the opportunity. So we are a group of 8.
Yes.
Adventure, fitness, and tourism, okay? Now, the flagship brand, you know, the thing that started first is Ultimate Cycling.
Yes.
Ultimate Cycling is a community of passionate riders and bike shops, okay? Now, out of the bike shop, we also birthed the first professional bike brand, which is the Gorilla Bikes, okay? I benchmarked the name Gorilla because racing out of Uganda, North America, Europe, South Africa, Asia, people relate Uganda to Idi Amin. Or the gorillas, okay? So for me, I took that opportunity to benchmark and retell the story of Uganda, okay? Hence the Gorilla Bikes, and 5% of our top line revenue goes to conserving the gorillas, okay? Now, one other reminder is I live for community and leadership, okay? So all of the businesses that we run, they are very, very community sensitive, okay? So 5% of the Gorilla Bikes goes to the conservation of the gorillas we have in Uganda. Fast forward, actually, I'm really excited to tell you about our latest product we're launching. Ladies and gentlemen, we have the Ultimate Adventures mobile application, which is basically the first activities only multi-sided platform, vendors and the adventure seeker. It's a market platform for you. It's a marketplace online for you to actually book all of your activities. Now, our beauty is basically co-creating non-existing activities in Uganda, okay? We launched Independence Day this year. We have really, really cool and amazing things, but also one of the products we have actually coming is we're basically going into the aviation space, okay? Now, we have the Ultimate Aviation Club coming. This is basically licking the cat out of the basket, but we have to dream, guys, you know?
Yes, of course.
So we want to make a lot of things possible, especially from a tourism aviation perspective in Uganda. But continuing on with the other brand, we have the Ultimate Fitness Kampala, which is a premium workout space in Uganda. And like I said, I don't show up without giving value. Eddie, allow me to give you a family membership, annual membership.
Yes.
You and your family
Yes.
are now on members of the Ultimate Fitness Kampala Club
Wow.
because you love to work out. So anytime your membership card is running,
Yes.
and so please welcome, you know.
Wow. I don't think that this guy has actually understood what you've just given the show. You know, so let me just give you an understanding of what the membership is when we talk about membership in the gym. That's probably $1,200
Yes.
a year.
Yes.
And it could be even more than that.
No, absolutely.
Yes.
Now with, you know, family
Yes,
is
yes.
$2,000.
It's $2,000.
$2,000 a year.
Wow.
Yes.
Which usually so many people are looking for. So thank you very much,
Of
Justus.
course, Eddie. Thank you
And
for having me,
I
sir.
want to just take you straight to the next point here. Changing lives.
Yeah.
You started moving from a young person to
Yeah.
changing your life. We're going into change management.
Yes.
A lot of us don't know how to transition from one point to the next point. We're struggling to know what to do, when to do
Right.
it, and how to do it.
Right.
We don't know. But you're here right now. You're a CEO, executive director of a group of companies
Yeah.
that are doing amazing things out of Uganda,
Yeah.
going to the world. If I'm watching you from anywhere across the world and I
Right.
don't know what to do, I mean, what would you say was the journey of change management from your perspective? And I want to say change management from this kind of perspective. What is your understanding, first of all, of change management, and which principles are you always using as Justus to move from point A to point B to point C?
Yes.
And also the change management from the ultimate cycling. When you first started, I remember launching your first, you know, group ride going to
Yes,
Jinja, I
yes,
think
yes,
from
yes,
Kisementi
yes.
a couple of years ago.
Yes.
And down the road, the company has now moved on to assembling bikes,
Yes.
and you know, and to, you know, the aviation part
Right.
of it, the tourism part of
Right.
it, and now we are going into the applications for
Right.
booking part of it.
Right.
What is your understanding of change management, and which principles do you use as an individual to move out from where you are to the next level? Because it's
Yes.
not easy.
Thank you very much, Eddie.
Yes.
Allow me to quote my favorite, one of my favorite humans in this country, Amos Wekesa.
Yes.
I hope you're watching, or at least give us a mention here, okay?
Yes.
I'm very fascinated by Amos's story, okay? And I remember we're talking to, you know, all of the DPCs in Uganda and Olilim, and I remember Amos articulating his story, okay? Amos is not afraid to say he was so poor, you know, born and raised, well, raised in an orphanage type of setting and coming into the city to do the hustle, okay? I remember the thing that stood out for me most, Eddie. Amos said he used to walk, okay, of sorts from kind of Bukoto to Nsambia only to eat meat, okay?
Yes.
And that brought so much delight, okay? However, on his way back walking,
Yes.
of course the meat starts to cut, okay?
Yes.
Now, in Amos's words, I remember that he said, while walking, suddenly he started crying, okay? He was very poor, okay? That he started crying, okay? Now, to me, that occurs to me as that moment where you are tired, you know? I want to see something different for myself, Eddie, okay?
I want to change.
I want to change, yeah? If you don't catch that, unfortunately, things might stay the same, okay? So catch those triggers. What are you tired of, okay? Okay? Eddie, I celebrate you today. It's a delight being here, okay? You have come from point A to B.
Yeah.
You have a vision. Takes me back to purpose.
Yes.
What do you want in life, okay? And how are you going to take your strides, okay? My other very favorite metaphor, Eddie, was before my very first flight, okay? Hearsay, planes go, glide, okay, turbulence, etc. That's fine, okay? My very first flight, I didn't know what takeoff was. I didn't know what landing was, but I fixed my eyes or my attention to takeoff, okay? Now check-in, all of that stuff, taxiing, you know, basically the craft leaving wherever it is to the runway.
Yes.
Ladies and gentlemen, okay? When when takeoff moment comes, you will know, okay? The momentum builds,
yes,
the
yes.
sound,
The energy.
everything
The
is,
change
I
from the
am
ground
ready
state,
to go.
Yes.
This is a huge unit vessel,
Yes.
trimming, gliding the skies.
Yes.
Oh man, guys, I get very passionate about this, but really it is that you want to see something different.
Yes.
Go scratch, dig the ground, mean it, Eddie, okay?
Yeah.
Mean it to go from point A to B.
Yes.
Otherwise, same old story.
Wow.
Yeah.
So, how do we communicate change moving forward? You know, from what you're saying,
Yeah.
assuming you're moving from your job to the next job, or you're moving from another organization to the next organization, how would you be able to communicate that to others? Because another problem we have with most people normally is moving from one point to the next point. They don't know how to go about it, and sometimes some people burn the bridges, or you know, crash the plane. You know, in the takeoff you crash and then you can't go back inside. How do you manage and how do you communicate to say, guys, I'm moving from point A to point B, I'm sorry but I'm moving now? How do you communicate that, and how are you managing changes in those different organizations that you have at the Ultimate Group?
No, thank you very much, Eddie. So change is inevitable, and there's never a day anything is kept constant, okay? So going back to first principles, okay, if you are an asset, if you're value to your organization, okay, then you must be able to respect that, okay? You're an asset, okay? Unfortunately, there's assets and liabilities, okay? So if you are positioned as an asset, as a leader, if you know your purpose, articulately and clearly, you should be able to, you know, say, look, my time has come, and here's a new opportunity. But also flipping that, Eddie, I get that a lot, you know? I get people come and go. And I can tell you that some people just come in and let you know, look, sir, here comes a time. It's been a great, wonderful journey, and it pains, you know? Your heart bleeds, okay? But the one thing I tell everyone at Ultimate is, okay, Ultimate is not the beginning and the end, okay? Also, as a leader, I appreciate that, you know, I want the best for you, okay? And if I can't give it to you, if anything has come, then please take it on, okay? However, also the other thing I've seen with a lot of, you know, fellow employers, it's, even actually speaking to the employees, okay, I see people transition and live in, you know, a bit of turbulence, okay? Now, I want to encourage you really as an employer, and also something I learned from Amos Wekesa, do not put emotions, okay? So from an employer-employee perspective, we agree that life is a journey, and that's it, okay? So the benchmark is, as a leader, I know that you're another leader, you know, you're going to sprout and branch, you know, go be anything, you know. I wish I had it all to give you, but that is how life is.
Wow. That said, on the change management, my last question on the change management, what are the secrets that you have used in managing change from Kitenge to, you know, your family to Kitenge, and then from Kitenge to, you know, the Ultimate cycling, the, you know, and then going into what you are now, you know, becoming in life as a CEO of the organization. I'm sure along the way, there are some secret stuff that you've done to get you there. If you would share with us, what are those things that you used in managing change to get from one point to the next point?
No, really,
three things, if you
three
have
things, I think the very first thing is consistency, okay? Managing change, and especially, you know, building a team, you know, feeling so delighted in what you've built, and for many other reasons, seeing, you know, some people drop, or even seeing the vision change, it only takes one thing, consistency and commitment, actually commitment being the second, to really stick to that coordinate, okay? Otherwise, very, very, very easy to get, you know, deviated. I think I would work by the two, but really also the other third thing actually to say is, one, you must be able to dream, have a good vision, and be able to sell it. I think the other very, very important thing, the gap with all of the, most of the entrepreneurs, at least I see, is, you know, the lack of, you know, you must articulate your vision. It's got to be a real good vision, big, and then sell it.
Wow. Justus, we're talking to Justus Kojaks right here on the CEO Bench. The CEO Bench focuses on bringing people like him who are on the move to the top, and those who are aspiring to lead you to a position of success. You know, if you're not careful, they can also lead you to a position of failure. And those already on the top and coming down, we've hosted many people here as CEOs, and we are here to allow them share their experiences as people who have done it and people who are doing it. and so that you can learn a thing or two from Justus. I want to just bring you through straight first to the question that I have from somebody.
Okay.
Says, "Hi, Eddie Okila, thank you very much for bringing Justus on the show. That gentleman inspires me. I saw him when I was at Watoto Church when he was growing up. Look at the person he has become today. I'm an old person, but the young man challenges me with the things that he's doing."
Wow.
Justus, I have a question for you.
All right.
How can I turn around my life from employment? I've been in employment for long, and I'm hearing what you're saying right now. I can't even do 3 of the things you're doing. Can you just share one thing that I can do at my age as a 54-year-old man still in employment to move? I want to move into, self-employment or move into retirement, but I don't know how to go about it. And then you talk about fitness. How do you ride a bike from Jinja all the way to Karamoja and back? What courage? Who do I need to spend time with?
Yes.
I mean, suddenly this person knows you. Suddenly this person talks about, makes reference of, time they have had with you at Watoto.
Yes.
And he's still in employment.
Yes.
I think you've had this question before we go into
Absolutely.
the transformation.
No,
Yes.
no, absolutely. Thank you very much. So 2 things. I will start with the cycling, Kampala, Karamoja, Jinja, Karamoja, and back. For the record, I have friends that have cycled the whole world, 4 years, 6 years on that bike, pedaling, okay? Now, in translation to this, to scale it down to this, for me, I love metaphors, by the way, okay? So I use cycling as a journey, okay? So we are all going through life, and obviously you have your course, okay? If I'm going from here to point B, it is a journey. The ups, the downs, the weather changes, sometimes we fall off our bikes. That is fine. We meet awesome people, we meet some not very nice people to us. So really it goes back to the principle of, the vision, the purpose, okay? Obviously we get discouraged, we get encouraged, even with business, with life, you will meet the same on the trail, okay? The most important thing takes me back to the principle of purpose. Know who you are, what you want, and start there, okay? Now, brings me back to the second question. One of the things I teach with business coaching is I love building models that are basically built around passion. Know your purpose, that's the principle, but number 2, know your passions, okay? Now, for me, I love biking, okay? This is something I would do for nothing, okay? Passion also translates to something that you'd suffer for, Eddie, right?
Yes, true.
Like the passion of Christ. Christ
Yes.
suffered for us, okay? I would basically suffer for biking. However, imagine this scenario, okay? Now, bikes, okay? Riding a bike pays me, okay? What a perfect scenario. Like, how good could it get? If you're doing something that you would do for nothing, but then now it's paying you, okay? So first principles, I love building models around our passion. Let's talk about your why, but also go into understand what are things you like, okay? Do you love farming? Do you like to see animals thrive? And do you just like talking to people? Are you a comforter? Build a model around that, okay? And it's something I'm also really happy to do. I'm happy to donate time and we build a model for whoever asked that question. So really, I think that's how far I can go for now. But really, know your purpose, know your passions, and the third line is basically your values. What governs you? Okay, if you have those set of values, then that's your code.
Wow,
absolutely. Wow. And then best case scenario, tier 2 is how do you go passion to portfolio? Okay, the things you love to do, make money, monetize that.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, that just us right there on the CEO Bench. We're going to take another break, and when we come back, the CEO Bench will talk about transformation as the last part of the show, and as well as we want to dig deep into the 2021 coronavirus situation. What are the learnings from there, from the business perspective of a man who owned a gym, and the gym business is down. They've invested quite a significant amount of money in setting up the ultimate gym and the place down there in Bugolobi, right here in the city of Kampala. And if you've visited, you have seen the place. If you've gone there to get a bike, you've seen the place. How do you bounce back from that loss of COVID-19? Stay right there, I'll be right back after this. This is the CEO Bench. It is the CEO Bench. Welcome back from that break. My name is Eddie Okela, and Justus, welcome back to the program.
Thank you.
First of all, I want to share some love coming out from some of the people watching you.
Oh, thank you.
And Ella Don watching from Naguru, the city suburb of Kampala. Thank you very much. She says she's following the show.
Nice.
And I have my brother from another mother, Daniel, in the US, saying I stayed up late to basically follow up the show. And I've got another gentleman all the way in Australia, says it's late in my my place of residence right now, but I love seeing those people do their thing. I saw their race in Karamoja with Amos Wekesa. That was amazing, and I love it. Wow. So there are people who have been following. And I have a gentleman here called Loja Businje saying, keep winning, bro.
Oh, yes.
I'm following the show. And then, of course, I have got my brothers from another mothers in Tanzania. I said, I love the story of, running around with a bike. I've seen Amos Wekesa and Justus doing some amazing stuff. They inspire me to get into riding the bike as a part of my fitness. That's the good stuff.
Oh, yes.
You want to read some from there?
Oh, yeah, thank you very much. I also want to thank everyone on my page right now live. Moses in Dubai, thank you very much. Actually, Moses saw me take it from 10. I used to have a crazy bike, BMX,
yes.
And they must have thought I was crazy, but here we are today.
Yes.
Consistency is everything,
From childhood, you're riding the bike.
10 years, yes. Same goes to Roger Businje here. My mother is actually tuned in here.
Wow.
So this is Mommy, and Chichi is my last born.
Yes.
They say they are very, very proud of me. Of course, I'm very, very proud of you all. Thank you very much, by the way. My parents, I thank you in a very, very tremendous way. My sisters, I'm the only son of 5.
Yes.
I appreciate you, Mom. I can't be here, Dad, family, sisters, and all of my extended family. There is no way, Eddie, I could have been here today if it were not for my parents.
Wow.
Okay?
Wow.
Yes, but overseas, I see Don Larry as well. Cynthia in Belgium, someone I also grew up with here. And Ida, my yearly fellow. I appreciate you guys. And everyone else, thank you for the love. We appreciate it.
Wow. So we want to read another one from here, coming from London. My name is Joyce. I'm based in London. I measure the impact of what we're doing.
Yes.
We must have justifiable, measurable metrics to follow what we're doing.
Yes.
Now, you have obviously been changing lives and turning around things wherever you have been.
Yes.
What are the tools that you use to measure your impact of the things you're doing? 1, in the community. 2, on the individuals that you interact with. 3, on the people you work with. And 4, in your own family.
Fantastic. Thank you very much, Eddie. I get that a lot. I oversee, because we juggle and, I'm a dreamer, doing so many things at the same time, So oversee, you will get revenues, good indicators. If it's business, you will get, like for the Kitenge Africa Foundation, basically getting kids go through school. We use very, very strategic M&E tools to basically account for 100,000 lives reached and impacted somewhat. Family, really, it is well-being, wellness. It is one of actually my favorite things here is also failure, Eddie, And that brings me back to something I'll talk about, So mindset, how we look at things, Failure for me, I celebrate failure, As an entrepreneur, I have so many wins and so many falls, So I choose to perceive failure as a success because it is graduation. It is basically getting me wiser and giving me a very different opinion, about things that I've tried. Because otherwise, then I'm forever in remorse of the unknown. I wish I'd done that and maybe could have been anything. So over and above everything else, failure is something actually I use as a tool, to measure progress and success.
Wow. And in terms of transformations, how is your project transforming the lives of the people that you are implementing? For example, talk about the cycling business. How is it transforming the lives of people who buy the bicycles from you? Do you have the tool to measure that?
Yes, absolutely. So first off, we have part of the reason the Ultimate Cycling Uganda was started was there was lack of similar or like-minded, communities, Now, as we speak right now, we have a database, of over 3,000 people that are vested into cycling, or at least very, very deliberate about, you know, the development of cycling in Uganda.
Yeah.
We have liaison and engagement with the KCCA, the government of Uganda, UNRA, okay, and obviously you see the president talk a lot about the opportunity to create bicycle lanes. You know, every other lockdown the president talks about, you know, people going out on their bicycles, okay? That is tangible, and I would like to say that, you know, the vision at Ultimate Cycling is to enthuse people to cycle, okay? I can tell you that people are enthused about cycling. The only one thing I have to say is people that are driving cars and bodabodas or bikes, please have some regard for the cyclists, you know, because we are very eco or environmental friendly. We do not remit or throw out any gases. It is very, very good. Of course, it's a very good physical exercise, you know, physical, mental, and all of the above, but also there's a very big social element, you know. We ride with CEOs, you know. Eddie has flagged us here. Eddie has a CEO flagging a bunch of CEOs and others, okay? We've basically been able to employ, we basically have our operations around the country now in Bunyonyi, Jinja, Mbale, Mukono, and Kampala, and we're actually spreading out, okay? All of that is employment opportunities, but also whenever we go out into communities, Eddie, to ride, like when we go from here to Karamoja, we're basically going with support vans, which are basically, you know, getting a lot of gas. We are eating on our trail. We basically pay for accommodation. We check into lodges and, you know, have a comfortable bed after a long day. And so that is a lot of value addition down the chain.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, Justus, let's talk about 2020. The coronavirus pandemic came into the world and turned around everything.
Yes.
You, as an investor, and your colleagues have just invested into a very big, beautiful place.
Yes.
The Ultimate Gym.
Yes.
And the investment.
Yes.
What has been the impact of coronavirus onto that business, and how are you dealing with it?
Okay, fantastic. Thank you, Eddie. So again, for me, it's the paradigm shift, mindset, okay? So as COVID is here, first of all, I acknowledge that COVID doesn't only slap us as a business. Everyone is, okay? My best, as most grounded, knowing that aeroplanes at some point were all grounded, okay? Now, if all of the, you know, multi-billion-dollar industries are grounded, then who are we, you know? But fast forward, here we are today. COVID has taught us that we can basically sell gym equipment. So we basically run that as a showroom.
Wow.
Okay, right now Ultimate Fitness basically consults in gym management, gym equipment, gym construction. And so if you're out there, you want to build a gym at home, all these condominium blocks and apartments coming up, the lodges have a lot of need for that. That is basically what COVID has taught us.
So that's what you transformed your business.
That is it.
In the COVID-19 situation period. That's what you trained on.
Absolutely. But also the beauty is, you know, not only to sell to Kampala, okay? Because it's also very limiting with a physical location. Your market size is that little. Now, when we go online and sell equipment, then we are servicing East Africa. That is the vision, okay? A beautiful e-commerce website that basically services East Africa and across.
Wow. Justus, let's talk about what are you looking for in life as a person? With all of this going on at your age now, what are you looking for in life? What more are you looking for in life?
Yeah. In a nutshell, I'll take you back to my purpose. Why I woke up this morning is to inspire the next tier of global leaders and entrepreneurs. Everything that I do, Eddie and everyone else watching, revolves around that. That's the epitome, that's the center of my heart, okay? Now, what I'm doing now with all of the new products we're launching is basically creating 1 million jobs across the African continent. Because we are leveraging innovation and technology, okay? Once we launch, okay, we are basically scaling across Africa and basically hence creating jobs, and you can go down that value chain, okay? It is basically 1 million jobs across the African continent. Once that is arrived at, I am free.
Wow.
Absolutely.
I want to just ask you a question, you know, a closing question actually, really. What excites you every day you wake up in the morning? Every day you wake up in the morning, what is getting you so excited about that? When you get up in the morning, you're excited, and what do you want to achieve with that excitement?
Yes. Thank you, Eddie. So the most overlapping thing or the most transcending thing for me here is purpose, values, and my passions, okay? Now, I feel very lucky again. I'm so aligned, okay? When I'm doing, community transformation and leadership projects, For instance, when one of the most priceless moments I've had in life, I remember just going to a corner, docking myself for a minute, was playing soccer, football, with former homeless children were taken from Kampala to Mpigi, okay?
Wow.
Now, that is wealth, okay?
Yeah.
And I just want to tell you now, as I wrap it up, for me it is, we are looking, okay, the reason I woke up again is to basically build the next generation and not buy the next building, okay? So we are not looking for the next building to buy or to build.
Yes.
We are basically looking for the next generation to build, okay?
Wow.
And for me, that is my why. Every time I get up in the morning, it is, what difference can I make, okay? Because out of that defines my true definition of wealth, okay?
Wow.
Thank you very much.
Wow. Wow. I want to say a big shout out to my brother from another mother, JB Atine, all the way in, I think in Belgium. JB, thank you very much for being a part of the CEO Bench, growing bigger and better. And of course, I want to reach out to my sister from another mother, Professor Penny Nachayo, all the way in Washington University. Shout out to you from another brother here who is spitting fire on the CEO Bench. Justus, this has been a great moment having you on the CEO Bench. And somebody is asking a question here. It says, well, thank you very much, Eddie Okello, for bringing the gentleman to the show. I have enjoyed the CEO Bench today. Ask him, how was Justus able to connect with Amos Wekesa and becoming very good friends? But also, was it easy to teach Amos how to ride a bike? He never used to ride a bike. Now he looks more fitter. Well, they basically want to know, how do you connect with people like Amos Wekesa and how do you get them to ride the bicycle? That's the question coming in. Yeah.
Thank you very much. Very, very good that you asked that.
Yeah.
I take you back to the same principle, okay?
Yeah.
Who are you? What are you good at? And what's your free value to give, okay?
Yeah.
The first time I met him, he actually called. I see you sell bikes. He came around.
Yeah.
Being that Amos, you all know, he was very excited, started promoting us. That was his free value.
Yes.
He started promoting. Amos writes on his Facebook, we sold containers of bicycles, okay?
Yeah.
I have never been so, my phone rang without looking. I said, thank you for calling Ultimate Cycling. How can I help you? I knew it was the surge from Amos. He gave us free value.
Yeah.
Now thereafter, I gave him $100,000 worth of tangible assets, okay? I built Amos and his son $30,000 bicycles. The bike he rides and his son, top notch, 50,000 USD. Okay?
Wow.
I said, I'm going to be your sponsor.
Yeah.
Okay?
Wow.
That is free value, okay? Gear, I'm actually his sponsor, I'm his cycling sponsor, okay?
Yes, yes.
The rest is history, synergies, okay? And that is the hack.
Yes, yes.
What do you have to give right away?
Wow.
That is going to bring everything else.
Wow.
Thank you, Eddie.
Wow. Well, you've had it from Justus down to that question, and
then and then how easy it was.
Yeah.
Amos is already an active guy,
Yeah.
so really I remember that I had to. He liked bobbing. We call it bobbing on the bike. I
Yes,
told
yes.
him try to stay as still as possible because
Yes.
this in itself is a workout. If you have to do this for an hour, you're burning your energy.
Yes.
So
and
try
you won't
to
have enough energy to keep going.
exactly.
Yes, yes.
So try to stay as still as possible.
Yeah.
And being the active guy, he already is the hard worker.
Yeah.
Everything else was easy there.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. So there you have it. Everybody who has been asking, and thank you very much, Justus, once again for coming to the show.
Yes.
The CEO Bench is about voting, and Justus, you were voted
Oh,
by
wow,
a
okay.
huge number of people
wow,
who kept
fantastic.
asking, and we've got a lot of people. We've got about 50 people on the
Wow.
list
Oh,
of
really?
nomination.
Oh my God.
And I'm actually shocked that you came before Amos. He was the first person nominated. We've
Wow.
written to him, but he's been running around
Okay.
quite a bit.
Yes.
So we've got a lot of people we've nominated, and the CEO Bench is about nomination.
Yes.
You have to be nominated,
Yes.
and when you're nominated, they have to
Wow.
give the reason why
Oh,
they have
wow.
nominated you.
Oh, wow.
And then our job is to reach out to bring you.
Oh, wow.
We want you to reach out to those who nominated you.
Yes.
What message
Oh,
do you
of
have
course,
for those
of
who
course, of
nominated you?
course.
If you look into this camera as
Yes.
we close the show.
Again, I take the honors, okay? And I would like to take this bow over you all. Thank you very, very much for believing in my vision. Thank you for continuing to support my leadership journey. I would like to challenge you one more time. I want you to go and think about your own life purpose, okay? Because that is going to be your blueprint, okay? That is your blueprint, and it will guide you. That is your guide, okay? Think about your purpose, the things that you are extremely good at, and then start to give value, okay? I actually gotta wrap it up telling you 5 things, okay? The 5 things you will do every day to be anything you want to be, okay? Number 1, ask yourself what value you have to give, okay? Number 2, go back and master the value you have to give. Number 3, everyone you talk to, ask them what value you can give. Number 4, give value. Be of value. And number 5, as you wrap up your day, ask yourself, what value did I give? Thank you very much.
Well, thank you very much, Justus, for coming to the show. We want to say goodbye to Justus, and to all of you guys there, we want to say thank you. The CEO Bench has come to an end today. Until next week, stay grounded and stay fresh. We will be bringing you another CEO on the CEO Bench.
My name is Dr. Jinpo Olowo. Thank you for watching House of Talent Television. I love to inspire people. I love to talk about my experiences and how God has been able to use me in the different exposures. And through the leadership, through change management and transformation, I've been able to do a couple of things in my life. Now, are you a kind of person who is tired of your status quo? Do you want your situation to change? Are you tired of what is going on in your life? You know, change is a fact of life. We've all been through experiences in the last couple of months that have taken us to a place where we need to do something about our lives. We need to change whatever is going on. So if you have not piled up investment for yourself, you need to do that. If you've not done businesses to hold your family in future, you need to do that. Are you thinking of full-time employment? You need to be thinking about your life after employment or your business in the next couple of years. So if you want us to chat, if you want us to talk about this, please get in touch with us at SEAL Uganda on number 0772443085, or check our website www.sealuganda.com, or on all the social media handles. You can hook me up or Facebook, that is Jinpo Olowo, on Instagram, Jinpo Olowo, and on Twitter and LinkedIn. Then we can chat a way forward with you. We can help you, we can coach you, we can walk with you this journey of financial freedom. Thank you.
It's a CEO bench, so usually people want to assume that all CEOs are overlearned and stuff like that. So I will change the script this time round. I consider myself a certified hustler.
If I'm looking to know who you are you Ugandan? If yes, what are the values that define you as Ugandan?
That's the easiest question, I think, to answer. I am a typical Lao man from Erute North, in a place called Ogur, and where I will be laid to rest is in a village called Agweng. So if you go there and you just say Otoa Tony, they won't really know me because my father is also Otoa Tony. You have to ask for Junior, and when you're asking, you have to ask with an accent. Junior Tikwene, where is Junior? And they will identify me. But I'm typically Ugandan, only Ugandan, from Lira. I pride myself from being from Lira. Earlier on, I was joking and saying I'm the coolest Lago south of Karuma. When you cross Karuma, there are so many. But when you're down the south after Karuma, I think I'm number one.
Wow. Well, now that you know Tony Otoa is Ugandan, and of course, what are the values that define you as a Ugandan?
I think it's the love for country, love for nation. You know, truth be told, the country is in a lot of, it's a crisis. Leadership crisis, economic crisis, social crisis. There's so many mismatching areas. But at the end of the day, it's home. You know, you cannot run and abandon your home because of the issues in your home. I think that then creates an opportunity for you to do something to change what's happening and what you see as a crisis. So in terms of what I see as a value, or what I take out of that for me, I think is just the love for country, the need to serve country the best way I can. And I mean, I can't say I can change everything, but the little I can do to create a difference, I think is more meaningful.
Wow. Mr. Tony Otoa, growing up, what did you want to be in life? And what was the journey like for Mr. Otoa?
Yeah, you know, my father is crazy. My father would call us and he would show me the compass. The idea was supposed to be a pilot. You know, the planes would fly over our house and my father would be like, yeah, you're going to be a pilot. But of course, as you grow, you realize that you have so many things that really define you. I was never a sportsman. So I enjoyed a lot of debate and, you know, a lot of indoor activities. And that is, I think, what really drove me into some of the things that I do up to today. Public speaking, the love for debates and really a lot of intellectual discourse and all this stuff. But besides that, I think it's also the fact that I won't lie. I didn't know what I wanted to be.
Welcome back from that break. This is the CEO Bench. My name is Eddie Okila, and in the studio is Mr. Bedford Buyungo, who is a Pan-Africanist, a man who thinks beyond the boundaries of Uganda, as well as an entrepreneur. And he is the founder and CEO of, Saint Africa, as well as the African Voyage, which is his other company making the boat here in Uganda, as well as the man who thinks for other businesses. At the moment, he's a consultant of the government of, Liberia, and of course, as many, he's a man who speaks directly to Professor Lumumba and helping him on many other things that we know. Welcome back to the show, Bedford. I wanted to take from point number 7.
Yeah. So, our point number 7.
Yes.
Allow me to complete that.
Please go from 6, actually, yes.
Which was, this is very key to my heart. It's very important because I managed to see myself differently.
Yeah.
And then I didn't see myself as a creative director, in advertising.
Yeah.
So I would want to really extend help to the people who see, who are graphic designers, and probably see themselves at that point and they don't see anything beyond. For me, it's simple. Seeing the art talent that you have as a business. You get what I mean?
Yeah, seeing the art talent you have as a business, not as just a mere design.
As a craft that you're going to meet someone's need. So, in fact, Jay-Z has a very, a line that he put in one of his songs.
Yeah.
He said, I'm not a businessman. I'm a business, man.
Yes.
So he's not a businessman. Guy will get busy.
Business. He'll get busy all the time.
He's a business himself.
Business
so
himself.
see yourself as a business.
Yes.
And treat yourself as a business.
Yes. Wow.
You get what I mean?
Yeah.
If you treat yourself as a business, that graphic designer, that art director, creative director,
Yeah.
you will slightly see things differently.
Wow.
Because you are a business. So that means that if you are a business, then you need someone to take care
Yes.
of that business. So a business is handled in a different way.
Yeah.
So that helped me. Of course, I moved to creative, learned, picked up the skill of research and development, which probably was something that actually has gotten me to meet many people, because that's one of the major needs right now in Africa. People need to create from scratch,
Yeah.
and then bring these things to life
Yeah.
and to the shelf.
Yeah.
So I'll go to the point number 7, which says be careful who you spend your time with.
Wow.
These are very simple things that we wrote, and we think I would love to use big words, but let me use
Smaller ones.
things
Yeah.
that people will understand.
Yeah.
And be careful of who you spend your time with. Yes, I can spend my time with anyone, but there are people who speak to me, and there are also people I speak to. There is a need as a business, this Bedford. I'm a business.
Yeah.
You get?
Not a businessman, but I'm first a business and then a man.
Yeah, so
Yes.
a business has needs
Yeah.
of education. A business has human resource needs. It needs many things.
Yeah.
So when I realized that I needed a certain type of inspiration, I needed a certain type of people, I looked for them. And one of them is Professor Lumumba.
Wow.
So Professor Lumumba enhanced the Pan-Africanism in me.
Yeah.
And he splits it. He treats me like his son. I called him this morning when we were coming here. I told him, Professor, there is A, B, and C, and he was like, okay, maneuver like this.
Yeah.
Oh, how are you, son? How's Uganda? I'm reading news, and so it
Seeing a
encouraged.
situation which doesn't look good, yes.
So Professor Lumumba enhances that bit, and then of course many other things I wouldn't say on the show.
Yeah.
So I looked for guys that can help me get to the next level. So I looked for Michael Jackson's vocal trainer since 1987, 2011.
Wow.
Dorian Holley. So I look for Dorian Holley, not for anything else, because there's nothing he can give me probably he didn't need anything from me.
Yeah.
But I looked for him because I had something I'm looking for, and that was the spirit of excellence. For you to have worked and trained Michael Jackson how to sing, and train his backup singers
To match the kind of singing that he was looking for.
Yeah.
The sound and the voice that he was looking for.
and then performed in big arenas. Basically, you're working with the best entertainer ever lived on earth. There was something special that probably people didn't see in Dorian Holley. He's not that famous. He was the lead backup vocalist, and at the same time he was a vocal trainer, and he's done everything in singing. And I was like, I'm not a singer, but I need the spirit of excellence from this man. I looked for him and I got him. And he started mentoring me. Not like we are sitting down, and by talking to him, anytime I get the opportunity, he tells me things. I ask him about, how MJ, all those things. And he breathes in me the spirit of excellence, because you can't work with MJ and you're not excellent.
Yeah.
So the point was, mind who you work with. I'm not saying that we won't work with the people we are better than.
Yeah.
In fact, we should work with them, and they should benefit from us. But can they get anything beneficial from the well that is empty? It means the well needs to be fed
Yes.
with a stream of life, with a stream of water,
Yeah.
and then others can
Draw from.
from it.
Yeah.
So it's two-way. There's people you need to learn from,
Yes.
and there's people who need to learn from you.
Yeah.
Guess what? the people who want to learn from you,
Yeah.
it's like a bee being attracted by a flower. But the people who need to, who you need to learn from, you're going to have to get out of your comfort zone and look for them.
Yeah.
Because even them are
And
looking
fit in their schedule.
and fit in their schedule.
Because one of the things is looking for them and you don't fit in their schedule, so you will never work together.
Yeah, I'll give you a trick.
Yeah.
Is to be relevant. If you're Killer Sports Fitness, offer them probably a free gig.
Yeah.
Let them come and exercise. Because they are spending some money, they'll give you much more value than
And
probably
the little money they will give you at that point.
$100 per
Yes.
month.
Wow.
So to me, when I'm doing business, I split things into two. I have people who give me value, and then I have people who I get money from.
Yeah.
So I don't see everything through the eyes of money. There is a value that is, that's the foundation for all the money you want.
Yeah.
You get what I mean?
Yeah.
So it means that if I have Dorian Holy, anyone in that world is a phone call away.
Yes.
You get what I mean?
Yes.
If I have Professor Lumumba, everyone in that world is a phone call away.
Yes.
If I'm a friend to the Vice President of Liberia, Her Excellency Joel Taylor, and I speak to her the way I speak to Okila, it means I'm a phone call away.
Yeah.
The thing is, I need to have something, I need a meeting.
Yeah.
But you need that connection, and this is the time to make the connections.
Wow.
Because people are less busy,
Yeah.
people are receptive, people are listening, they're looking for answers. It could be you that's providing those answers.
Wow.
So I'll go to the next point.
Yes.
Is to
This is point number 8.
yes,
Yeah.
it's linked to even some points we talked about. Is to learn something new. Someone will ask, you're talking about research and development. Someone will ask, you're talking about human resource.
Yeah.
Where did you learn those things? I promise you, I won't lie. I didn't go to school to learn those things.
Yeah.
Ask Elon Musk where he went and learned. You can go and ask Zuckerberg where he learned.
Yes, yeah.
And in fact, most of them will tell you they're school or dropouts. It doesn't mean that when they dropped out of school, they started eating mangoes.
Yes, yes. I mean, Amos Wekesa said it himself. Amos Wekesa says, I dropped out of school, but how many of us are consulting from Mr. Amos Wekesa as a tourism entrepreneur right now in Uganda and in Africa? And I think that there are probably bigger, tourism companies in Uganda, bigger than Great Lake Safaris. But the first thought when you think about travel is Wekesa, because it's been in everybody's faces and it's been able to at the forefront of everything. Yes. But over to you, yeah.
Yeah, so when people drop out of school, and I'm not saying people should drop out of school, it doesn't mean go and eat mangoes, relax. It means, in fact, dropping out of school puts even a bigger burden for you to learn, because you've comfortably or even negatively put yourself out of the measuring yard. You get what I mean? Because a degree
used to,
a degree measures you. It says you've studied 19 years from kindergarten to university. We award you the degree in such and such. It means you're graded.
Yes.
There's certain expectation of a degree holder, master holder, even a PhD.
Yes.
I'm just appealing to our viewers to humbly, even if you have a degree, learn something new and get out of the grading system. When you get out of the grading system, it means that you're going on a highway.
Yes.
That probably you don't even know where it's leading.
Yes.
But it's going to be much faster.
And there are going to be a lot more accidents on the way, because the highway is very attractive to speed.
Yeah.
And sometimes some people step on that pedal and say, yo, come on, man, let's kick these things. Yes, and they enjoy. And along the way, they forget that the highway always have the sharp corners,
Yeah.
And you know, in some areas where they say slow down, their arms ahead,
Yeah.
and then they forget and they hit the arms and the car flies off. They lose,
Yeah.
it's part of the car. Or if you're on a border motorcycle, you will fall down, you break a leg, you get up.
Yeah.
I mean, those are the things they're talking about.
I'm talking about those.
Yes.
But when you go to the highway
Yes.
and you maneuver sharp corner,
Yeah.
you'll be the master of the sharp corners if
Wow.
you survive.
Wow.
So, while you're seated at home, Google human resource, strategies, and as an artist, as an accountant, and then when the 42 days is done, put up a presentation to your CEO and tell them, I can be your CEO, your accountant, but I can also be the assistant human resource. And these are the strategies that will take us through. There's human resource, there's many things that different companies need.
Yeah.
You study because you work there and you learn.
Yeah.
No one is going to come and give you that degree.
Yeah.
But I promise you that when you present and it works, that degree is going to come in form of cash.
Yeah.
You'll never lack that.
Wow.
It might not come soon,
Yeah.
but when it comes, it will surely come.
Yes.
This is the time. You can, there's people who want to travel, say they just can't fit in this system here in Uganda.
Yeah.
I give them the advice, get some little money and study a course from that very country you want to go to. Probably when you apply for their visas and you've studied there, even virtually, you'll be one of the guys to be considered. It's always that you need to look forward and then start moving, towards that direction. So my ninth point is invest in your business.
Yeah.
There's many ways you invest in your business. People are going to say, we don't have money, we spent all the savings. But I see people online. I've hardly seen anyone say because of the pandemic, they are not online.
And they are not eating also.
You got what I mean?
Yes.
So how they're eating, even their businesses need to eat.
Yes.
Investing in business is something, is a homework I give to our viewers. How do I invest in my business? You invest in, of course, the physical, then the virtual, things you can't see. Invest in your staff by Googling and sending them things. Get some time and invest. I stress human resource because that's the camel we talked about that will take us through the desert. Invest in those people. Actually, they are the business.
Wow. But I want to just interject there a little bit. A lot of time, just on the point number 9, a lot of time we looked into more about numbers.
Yes.
And I have been on a journey where people keep saying, numbers, we want to see big numbers, we want to see big numbers. I mean, how are you going to compete with these guys? How are you going to compete with these guys? You're supposed to compete with these guys. And the question of numbers have always been such a big problem. Yet, when I look deep down from my studies, I realize that every single thing that we have talked about on this show today is predicated on the fact that somebody was thinking.
Yeah.
And they thought about the process.
Yes.
And they looked through the corners of their thinking processes and said, I think this is going to work. And they never looked at it from a one-dimensional point of view,
Yes.
but probably looked at it from a three-dimensional point of view.
Yes.
And I draw my wisdom and understanding and thinking from this part when this story is talking about a man who was trying to go to another city, and he said, I must go through Samaria. And the people, you had about 12 men around him, and this guy says, you must be really crazy, man. You can't go through Samaria. We don't even mix with those people. We don't touch there. That's not a no-go area. We don't mix with those fellows.
Yeah.
Just the attitude of these people, he kept quiet, he didn't say a word.
Yeah.
But they set course to the journey where they were going.
Yeah.
And he said, must go through Samaria, which means they were going to a different destination altogether. And unfortunately, that destination is given to us.
Yes.
But what I learned from him is that when he said so, it is accounted for that he reached a certain place where he was thirsty.
Yes.
And he stopped and says, I'm hungry, I need some water. And then he sent all the 12 men to go and buy meat. So I kept asking myself, so send all the 12 men to go and buy meat. And then they came back and found a different story altogether. Bedford, I want to just put this to you. He had 12 men, but one man reached the entire city and took control of everything that we're looking for.
Yes.
And the question is, does the numbers really matter at the beginning? Should we look at the numbers at the beginning? Because one of the people who nominated you for the program said when he started the company in 2019, he had a good number of customers.
Yes.
But in 2020, when the pandemic came,
Yes.
by the time he was coming out of the lockdown, out of the 12, clients that had signed in, 6 of them were very good paying customers according to him. 3 of them cut off and he remained with 2, and eventually at some point he remained with 1. And now he has only 1.
Yes.
And he doesn't know how to grow the numbers back, and he's very afraid that the numbers have gone, so the revenue has gone down. And I keep saying, everywhere he goes, they tell him, but your company has only 1 customer. What if this customer terminates you? Is it not the end of you? So they look at his portfolio and say, we need your portfolio. At least we should see like the 10 companies you've worked for, 20 companies you've worked for. So the question of numbers have always remained
Yes.
a very serious thing. I want
Yes.
to go back to you and ask you, how do we navigate the path of numbers? Must everything start with numbers, or it can start with you? I mean, based on the story of the man I told you,
Yeah.
the story is different. When the guys came back with food,
Yes.
they phoned when he said, I have need to eat that you know not of. And I got confused. He said, but you were hungry, sent for food. Then now you don't want to eat. What's the problem?
Yes.
But he had such a big number. He said that when he spoke to a certain woman, the entire city came to him.
Yes.
But he started with 1 woman.
Yes.
And yet he had 12 men who didn't understand.
Yes.
The question of numbers for business people are usually such a big problem. Even on this show, some people will say, but you don't have numbers. The numbers are not showing very big. But when I go into the background,
Yeah.
the numbers are so huge.
Yes.
There's an algorithm somewhere that gives me
Yeah.
the numbers of people from all over the world. I know who is watching you now.
Yeah.
I know which country, which geographical location, what they're using. Are they using a mobile phone or they're using the computers?
Yes.
And I noticed that 68% of the people who actually follow the CEO bench is on their mobile phone.
Okay, that's great.
And 80% of them are women.
Wow, amazing.
And they spend 80%, in fact 63% are women, and they spend 80% total time watching the program.
Yes, yes, yes.
But yet, when you look at it from here, the number looks very small. How do you justify that? And how do you tell a person who is being told of the numbers now not making sense?
No, numbers is very important. As a strategist, as a marketer, research and development, everything I do that through numbers. I always have my big calculator on my desk.
Yeah.
And that is what makes me different from probably other people.
Yeah.
And I took my learning when I was when I decided to learn from Mr. Simpson Birungi, the chairman
Movit.
of Movit.
Yeah.
That guy is a genius. We should invite him here. He's a guy who knows numbers. Not your very hard numbers.
Yeah.
How to multiply, how to divide, how to add.
Yes.
You can't say you're trying to market and you don't know how the turnover is going to be like.
Yeah.
You don't know how to project. So numbers are very important. It's probably the reason we are in business.
Yeah.
Because the more numbers I have, the more consumers I have, the more me as a Pan-Africanist, if I have, I can make sure we sell, say, 10 tons per week of Ugandan coffee abroad. It means more jobs. It means everything.
Yes.
It's numbers.
But can you start, when you are starting from scratch based on the story of my man there, I mean, everybody seems to be saying, I need numbers now, but you can't have numbers at the beginning, such huge numbers at the first
Definitely.
go. Yeah.
Numbers, I'm speaking it from a vision point.
Okay.
You need to have a picture of what you want,
Yes.
and then you get there.
Yes.
I'll use an analogy. I love using analogies because it helps people understand better.
Yes.
If I want to be a pilot,
Yeah.
what business am I doing in Qatar with bike sellers? What business do I have to do with them? It means probably I need to hang around Uganda Airlines, I need to sit with pilots. You meet them, and then they'll enhance your thinking, they'll tell you things you didn't know, and probably you'll gauge and say, I'd be a pilot or I'm not, I'm not a pilot, this is not my thing, according to the explanation. The knowledge is there free, people give it to you free of charge. When I started working as a consultant at the airline, I started seeing pilots the same way I see you, not the same way I used to see them. I used to see, because they fly things in the sky, they must be angels. They're human beings like you and me. And then when you ask them, they'll tell you, you know, it needs 100,000 to fly Boeing to and fro. And then you calculate, okay, if I want to buy a private jet, does it fit in? You get what I mean? So numbers from a point of vision. And then you start walking towards it. Numbers guide me a lot when I'm doing strategies. Because they show you, they measure, they help you measure that you're not doing well. I'll throw some numbers at you, and I know it's going to cause you to think. Monaco has 37,000 people.
This is the city of Monaco. Monaco has the country.
37 people. 37,000 people. These people have a GDP per capita of 186,000 USD. You get that? Per capita of 186,000. So when I calculated in Uganda shillings how much money the average guy gets per month in Monaco, it's 56,000. No, million.
Oh, $56 million.
No, Uganda shillings.
Oh, 56 million Uganda shillings. Okay.
That's earning for a top CEO in Uganda. The other side, it is what is the basic, what every human being in Monaco earns. They are only 37,000. So it's a game of numbers. Numbers from the point of human resource. If 37 million can have 37,000 people can have an economy that gets the basic guy to get 56 million Uganda shillings, then on the side of people who think that you need a bigger human resource to create that, it has proved you wrong already, because fewer people have a bigger economy. So you come back to Uganda, where you have 45, let's say, million people, whose GDP per capita is 860,000. No, 860 USD. So when we put it in Uganda shillings, the average guy in Uganda gets like 120,000 per month. And you know that's the money you pay your maids. Or people, many people, that's the money they pay. So the guys who calculate GDP are not just talking, you know, GDP per capita are not just talking things from the air. They really sit down and calculate, and it makes sense for me. So I'm like, that's when I started Monaco, it gave me courage that I don't need 100,000 people to make Africa better. You need just a few thousands to look in the right direction, very inspired, very knowledgeable, to get the continent forward. That's numbers.
Wow.
You get what I mean? But also I kind of was like, for example, the other day President Museveni gave an example of Walmart having a bigger economy than that of East Africa. When I know you've been to Nairobi. Nairobi is a big city, big economy, almost the third on the continent, very thriving. But when you mirror it against the Walmart economy, it's cartoon.
It's not even there. It doesn't suffice. It's not closed.
Because East Africa has about 7 countries, isn't it? 6 to 7 countries.
6 now.
6.
So it's Uganda, Kenya, Tanzania, Rwanda, Burundi, and South Sudan that is coming. 6.
6 economies can't do better than just one store, one supermarket.
Yes.
So that's numbers. It helps you put things in perspective.
Yeah.
Makes you know that you're not doing well.
Yeah.
Because that's the measure.
Yeah.
And then you'll start moving forward.
Yes.
So it's not numbers that I need numbers today, because for you to be relevant to the numbers is to have something to provide to the numbers.
Yes.
And I encourage all businessmen, all artists, all marketers to always think about numbers.
Yes.
So Walmart, for example, their turnover is 559 billion USD.
Yeah.
The turnover of East Africa, or GDP, is 193 billion.
Dollars.
6 countries against
one supermarket.
So against one supermarket
Yes.
in some part of the world.
Yeah.
So Walmart employs about 1.5 million people in every store.
Yeah.
You can imagine the population of East Africa. So you have 1.5 million people against 80 million people, or plus, against 120 million plus.
Yeah.
So 1.5 million people are able to do bigger things than 120 million people.
Yeah.
Numbers help you to put things in perspective, and then you start moving forward.
Bedford, thank you so much. I want you to go to point number 10 as we close up. Our time is fast spent, but I want to say thank you very much. Mugamba Robert said great conversation, and I think he's enjoying the conversation and the numbers. Thank you very much, Mugamba Robert, as well as my friends from Rwanda, Burundi. Thank you very much. They said when enjoying the interview. I've seen comments coming from guys who follow you in Nairobi saying thank you very much for having the gentleman on the show. How old is he? They are asking how old are you to have these great insights about the stuff that we're talking about here. The CEO Bench is about leadership, change management, and transformation. And all we've been talking about here, from the votes that came in, the 30 votes that came in, we wanted Bedford Buyungo to come back to the program and give some nuggets of truth about how we can help our struggling businesses. This is from the private entrepreneurs corner, and of course I think that he's been able to give that, coming from the background of a brand developer, product developer, marketer, an advertiser, and an entrepreneur, and a Pan-Africanist, thinking at a different level altogether. Bedford, if you'll pick it up from point number 10 as we close.
Okay, thank you so much. I'm enjoying the viewers' comments as well.
Yes.
I'm 43 years in August.
Wow.
So I was born in 1978.
Yeah.
And yes, I know I probably look old.
Yeah.
But in a different part of the world, my age, you're very old.
Yeah.
Being that.
Yeah.
In this part of the world,
You're just starting.
We're just starting.
In fact, we make money when we are 40 plus. They said we start to become serious at 45.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, we don't live a very healthy life to see us enjoy that, because at 40 we are dying. I mean, how many of our colleagues have died at 40?
Yeah.
Because they are not living a very healthy life and a fit life to be able to enjoy the start of this process of the journey.
Yes.
And so one of the things that I'm trying to do in many of my thinking right now is to turn my skills and my training of health and fitness to be able to make other people become successful.
Yes.
And I believe that if I make them become successful in being healthy and fit, I will make money off all my life. The reason being, if they are successful, they will always not forget the water that, the hand that was feeding them.
Definitely.
I mean, if I train 1,000 people, give information to 1,000 people, I'm hoping that maybe about 500 will come back. The other 500 will throw me off balance.
No, the 500 will come.
Yeah, but there's a 500 people who are going to come. So yes, you're right when you say the age. And until we need to pick up from the health and fitness point of view as, CEOs and entrepreneurs at your level you've reached, to be able to think serious. Guys, health and fitness is key, and I think that COVID-19 is helping us settle the boat, the balances, checking us there and right and left and center. that you are home. By the time you're coming back from the 42 days, you probably put on so much weight, you know, the anxiety has kicked in. You cannot think very well for your business because you are unfit and unhealthy at the same time. And that means that your productivity, like Bedford said, in the other part of the world, 43, they are retiring. You know, in this part of the world, 43, we are starting and yet we are dying. So we have not started, we are not even not there.
Yeah.
Unless we're able to work our way stronger and more fitter. But over to you, Bedford. Sorry, I had to interject with that point because you touched something quite very important in this discussion.
No, that's very important.
Yeah.
There is something I call the fast tracking of the African mind.
Yes.
And that's what we need.
Yeah.
In the area of health, in the area we need to fast track our thinking.
Yes.
And if you were miseducated for 19 years, you need to unload the 19 years fast. And then retape.
Yes.
If it was, like the video
Yes.
recording, and retape new knowledge.
Yes.
And then get on the faster lane we talked about,
Yes.
and then run.
Yes.
If it's a race, 100 meters dash, and you're against Usain Bolt and all that,
Yes, yes.
just know that
Tyson
Usain Bolt,
Gay, yes.
Tyson Gay,
Yes.
they are at the 50-meter mark,
Yes.
and you're on the 0 mark. Appreciate it that way. That's how we started.
Yeah.
That you need to appreciate that you are locked down for 42 days.
Yes.
But the other world is moving,
Yes.
and they are much more better than you. They have system, they have addresses, which mean everything. They have social security, they have everything.
Yeah.
And you are at the 0 mark trying to
Catch up with
Yeah. So my 10th point is find someone to mentor you.
Yeah.
My 11th point, I guess.
Yes.
Find someone to mentor you.
Yeah.
I touched about it a little bit, but let me stress it out that we need to find someone.
That is actually point number 10.
Yeah.
We wrapped up 10 and 11 years. You said you put 11 point, yes.
Yeah. We need, you need to find someone to mentor you in the area of health.
Yeah.
If that's the need you have. You in the area of business. Like I have a few mentors and I treat them like fathers. I told you the guy who taught me how to calculate, how to use the calculator was someone who even has no degree. But I appreciated his touch. I mirrored him against Podorian Hall. He's 64. He's retired. He's still you know what I mean?
Yes.
But I'm making use of him.
Yeah.
And guess what? If Michael Jackson paid him,
Yeah.
he's giving me free knowledge.
Wow.
I have Professor Lumumba, because that is the direction I'm taking.
Yeah.
As a Pan-Africanist, I need a Pan-Africanist who can easily introduce me to people. I need a Pan-Africanist who tells me, I think you're going on the wrong trajectory. Eventually, I'll be able also to mentor others.
Wow.
Yeah.
Let's go to point number 11 as we close the show.
Of course, point number 11 is learning from experience. We had the first pandemic, and if we didn't learn anything, the second pandemic is clearly telling us that the world is on reset.
Yes.
If you think that you're going to open up a shop, a cloth shop, and sell the way you used to sell before COVID, then it's like you're waiting for the ship at the airport.
Wow.
Things have changed.
Wow.
Things are very virtual. If you think that your human resource staff is going to be able to work the way they used to work, then you're wrong, because these people, while at home, they've been introduced to many other things. Some of them are learning new skills. So if you view them the way you used to view them before, it's like waiting or winking at a woman in the dark.
Wow.
You better stand and appreciate that things have changed. Take stock.
Wow.
Sit down with a paper and pen and say human resource. Plot it and say things have changed. Interview your staff. You know, ask them what they want to be in 5 years. I promise you they'll tell you different things. They've learned things. Some of them know what is working and what is not working. So I want to thank you for the opportunity of hosting me here. For the viewers who've been watching us, the people who nominated me, and I want to tell them that or give them encouragement. I shouldn't give. They should still have hope that things are going to be better, and they should look north. And of course, if they are spiritual, God will come to our rescue. And but God has to find us doing something. They need to learn. They need to have their visions clearly written, because that will help the posture they're going to take. And also to remind them that we as research and development fellows are constantly coming up with ideas of how to make things better. For example, we are going to have the cheapest mortgage in the world. And you and I are going to work on that. We'll have the cheapest mortgage in the world. Housing is going to be
something that has never been discussed before, something has never been thought about before.
Definitely.
Something that people have never even thought about in their wildest imagination.
Yeah, housing is going to be a human right. We're going to make it here in Uganda. You and I and our team, we're going to make it happen. It's not going to be that for you to own a house, you've succeeded. That will be the foundation and not the limit.
Wow.
To your success.
Wow.
Thank you so much.
Well, Bedford, thank you so much for coming to the CEO Bench today. I would like to say we are really extremely humbled to have you back on the show today. And I think that those who have nominated you have not gotten anything short than their expectations were at the beginning, and that informed their decision to nominate you to come back to the show. And to everyone out there, thank you very much for being part of the show. I would like to say thank you, and we're looking forward to having you anytime we have the vote. The CEO Bench is purely about the vote. You see the person, you don't understand them, but you hear about them and you want them to come. We created this platform so that they can come and share their ideas. 1.5 hours of them sharing their ideas, sharing their thoughts, and of course their experiences in the area of leadership, change management, and transformation. Until then, we want to say thank you and keep it the CEO Bench. Like Bedford Buyunga said, we're working on something. Again, don't wink on that woman in the dark. As the pandemic comes, that's a learning for today. As you come out of 42 days, please put the light, put the glasses, and see the beauty of that human being called the business that God had placed before you. And like you said, you have to make sure that you don't wait for God to find you when you are seated. Rather, God should find you when you're walking. Until then, keep it the CEO Bench. Bedford Buyungo, Ed Your Killer, signing out.